Hi, welcome everybody. I'm super excited to have you here for this little yoga class. I'm an assistant professor at Chalmers, so I'm a colleague of Jan Philip, and apart from that, I'm a yoga teacher, certified, and happy to join you tonight, and happy to maybe help you relieve a little bit of that laptop monkey pose that we find ourselves in for more time during the day than we care for. And I have a couple of breathing exercises that I want to do with you, and a couple of stretches and some movements. So you just want to make sure that you have a little bit of space around you. We're not going to do anything crazy or fancy. We're just going to stretch all of our limbs, and then make sure that we shake everything out and that we get you a little loose and limber after your first half of the conference day, so you can be all activated and all energized for the second half of it. So let's start with just getting settled in. If you want to come to whatever way of sitting cross-legged that is kind of comfortable for you to hold for a few minutes, then please do that now. If your knees are pretty high up in the air, then it often helps to sit on something. I have a folded jacket here underneath, a folded blanket or a pillow or even a thick book. All of that does the job. So whatever is in reach that slightly elevates your hips will allow your knees to come further down. And with that, we're going to inhale and sit up a little bit taller. So pull the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And then with every exhale, ground through your sitting bones as if you were growing roots. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, root deeper. And just take these breaths to really arrive here, to become present in the moment. Whatever happened before is the past. Whatever's going to happen later is the future. For this time, we're just going to stay right here in the practice. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, root deeper. Once more, inhale, grow taller. Exhale, root deeper. Place your right hand on your belly, and then we're going to do a breathing exercise that is called box breath. It's super good to just calm you down whenever you may feel a little nervous, and it's also energizing at the same time, but in a relaxing way. So we're going to do this all on the count of 4. We're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and stay empty for 4. So start with inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Relax and come back to your normal breath. Good. And then bring your right hand on the outside of your left knee or on top of your left knee, And bring your left hand close behind you, right behind your spine, and see if your fingertips or your whole hand can touch the ground. And then open up over that left shoulder. And if your neck is okay with it, you can look over the left shoulder as well. And here, same story. With every inhale, you try to sit a tiny bit taller, and with every exhale, you twist a tiny bit deeper. And be gentle, we're not yet warmed up, so this is really an exploration of your range of motion. Inhale, exhale, twist. Third and last breath here. Inhale, tall, exhale, twist. With your next inhale, come back to center and then turn over to the other side. Left hand goes on the right knee. Right hand is right behind you. Inhale, tall. Exhale, turn over to the right. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist deeper. With your next inhale, come back to center. Good. And then we're gonna come forward and we're gonna come onto our hands and our knees. And we're gonna play with cat-cow. So this is a nice warm-up for your back. With your inhale, let your belly sink down, reach your heart forward, reach your tailbone up, lift your gaze. With your exhale, become really round. Press into your hands, press into your knees, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, let your belly sink down, reach your heart forward. By the way, this is the cow, you may have guessed. Exhale, round your spine, pull it up, pull your navel back towards your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale, let your belly sink down, reach your heart forward. Exhale, round your belly, round your back, not your belly. That one becomes round as well, just the other direction. Inhale, belly sinks down, heart reaches forward. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, two more. Come into cow. Exhale, round it into cat. Last round. Inhale into cow. Exhale, back into cat. With your next inhale, come to a neutral back. Your back is all straight. And then with the exhale, lift your right hand forward as if you were going to shake somebody's hand. So your upper arm is in one line with your right ear. Make sure you spread your left fingers really wide and press that hand actively into the mat or carpet or whatever you're sitting on, whatever you're kneeling on. Make sure that your shoulder blade doesn't stick out. That's why we're actively pressing the hand, so that your shoulder blade is flat in your back. Good. If this is plenty for your upper back muscles, then you stay right here for 2 more breaths. If you want a little more, lift that left leg along with it and press the heel towards the back. Inhale. Exhale. Last inhale here. Exhale, bring the elbow and the knee together underneath you and round your back. Inhale, reach the arm back out front and the leg if you have lifted it. Exhale, pull knee and elbow together. Inhale, third time, arm and leg go out. Exhale, place them back down on the mat. And then sit your hips back, come into a child's pose for a moment. So that one has your hips on your heels or close to your heels. They may or may not touch. And you walk your arms out in front of you and become really long here. And maybe your forehead can sink to the floor. If your forehead is really far away and this is super uncomfortable, then you can always use something like a folded whatever to help you cover the distance. So in this practice, it's not about jamming our bodies into a pose. It's about using the poses to get deeper into our bodies
So you just want to pay attention to your breath and let that flow as deep as you can into your body. And we're good. With your next inhale, come back onto your hands and your knees. Hands are right underneath your shoulders again, and we'll do the other side. So inhale your left arm up. Your upper arm is in one line with your ear. You actively press into the right hand and spread those fingers wide so your shoulder blade is flat against your back. And then breathe deep here. Keep reaching those fingertips out front. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. If you want a little more, lift your right leg up. Press the heel towards the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then with your exhale, pull your knee and your elbow together underneath you, round your back. Inhale, reach them out. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Last time here. Exhale, place the hand and the knee back down. Sit back into your child's pose. As we come down here the second time, maybe you notice a tiny difference. Maybe something became a little softer. So with every inhale, try to find a little more length in your back. And with every exhale, listen to where you can soften in your body. And maybe you notice that it's already a little more open than the first time we came down here. With your next inhale, come back up onto your hands and your knees. And I want to invite you to the first awkward pose of the class. So we're going to lift the left knee off the mat and we're going to lift it as far to the side as we can. There are people who call this the puppy hydrant pose because it's like a puppy peeing on a fire hydrant. But you name it, whatever you like. We're just going to try and keep that knee as high as we can and then exhale, lower it again. So you want to have that knee in one line with your hip and the other knee. So inhale, lift it as high as you can. Exhale, bring it back down. And third time, because third's a charm, inhale that leg up. Exhale, bring it back down. From here, we're going to take that same knee and we're going to pull it towards the front. You can wiggle that foot through, however it works to get that foot in between your hands. And then if your back leg is all the way straight, then shift your weight further forward because we're going for a slight stretch in your right hip. So you want to have that right leg wiggled further back so you can feel a stretch in the front of your right hip. Your knee is right over your ankle. That way your knee is in the most stable position that it possibly can be. You can either stay down here on your fingertips, or if you want to go a little deeper, inhale your arms up. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale, open your arms into cactus arms, bend your elbows, pull the elbows back, pull your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach those arms back up. Exhale, cactus arms. Good. Make sure that your lower belly stays engaged because otherwise you might feel a pinch in your lower back. So if you do feel whatever discomfort in your lower back, first of all, back out of the pose a little. And second, make sure that your abs are engaged here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, engage belly, open your elbows. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale and bring your arms back forward and then straighten that front leg. And we'll come to sit on our bottoms and we're going to take that right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Toes of the left leg are pulling back towards your face and then walk your hands forward along that leg while reaching your heart forward and while keeping your lower back really nice and long here. So if you're feeling like you're hunching over and pulling your nose towards your knee, then back off a little and reach with your chest bone for your big toe instead. And then hands land wherever they land. Could be around your knee, could be on your calf, or even grabbing your ankle or your foot. And wherever your body is today, it's the perfect place to be. No need to judge your body in your mind. Just be really kind with yourself. How gentle can you be with yourself in talking to yourself? Take one more deep inhale here. Exhale, come back up. And then take that leg back, and we're coming back into tabletop position. So from here, we're gonna take that right leg and step it forward or wiggle it forward in between the two hands, and then sink into that hip crease, and then ankle is right underneath your knee, and you feel a stretch on the left side here. And again, you can either stay on your fingertips or you can inhale your arms up. Again, belly is firm, your abs are firm. One inhale here. Exhale, open your arms into cactus arms. Inhale, reach the hands back up. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach your hands back up. Abs stay engaged. Exhale, open. Inhale, your arms back up. Last time, elbows open. Inhale, your arms back up. Exhale, bring them forward to frame that foot, and then slowly straighten out that right leg and come to sit on your bottoms. Left foot goes to the inside of the right thigh, and then with a long lower back, walk your fingertips forward as far as they go while you're reaching your chest bone towards your big toe. And then hang here wherever here is for you, and be okay with that. You may also feel quite a difference from the left side to the right side. That is perfectly normal and nothing to worry about. You can maybe become curious if you like, and then maybe all of a sudden you remember, oh yeah, I used to have an injury there years ago. And so that is one of the things that may cause a difference from our left to our right side, but it can also happen without any injuries. It's just how our bodies are. We're not perfectly symmetrical usually. Last breath here. Exhale, come back up. And then from here, we're going to come into a twisted seat. So take that left leg that was on the side and step it over the right one. You have two options here. The first one is to stay exactly in this pose. And we're going to wrap that right arm around the left knee. And we're going to open it up to the left. So we're coming into another twist. And this time you may find that you can go slightly deeper. If you do have a more regular yoga practice and you know you would like to go a little deeper, you can bend that bottom leg and come into the more compressed version of the twisted seat and take the right elbow all the way past that knee. So yogi's choice, whatever works for your body today, that's where you go. Either way, with every inhale, you grow a little taller, and with every exhale, you twist a little deeper and look over your left shoulder. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, go deeper. And as we hang out in this pose, make sure you breathe as deep as you possibly can, because this will give your inner organs a nice massage from the inside. Pretty luxurious. 2 more breaths here. with your next inhale, come back to center. And then we're going to lean back from either version of the pose into a half boat. So you can put your fingertips on the mat or on the floor that you're sitting on, and then float your legs up. If you're very familiar with boat pose, then feel free to float your arms up as well. If you wobble, that's fine. That's part of all this practice. If you're in boat pose and you're still not wobbling, then you may want to consider straightening out your legs. So you find your level of challenge, whether the hands are behind you and fingertips on the floor, or whether your legs are all the way up, you find your level of challenge. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Reach your chest a little higher. Knees come together. Last one. Exhale, bring the feet back down. Good work. That was our activation for all the abs. So now we got to figure out what the other side is. I would say we straighten out the left leg, and then we're going to step the right one over it. And you're going to try and take the same version as you did on the first side. So you remember whether your leg was straight and you just wrapped the left arm around you and around that right knee, and then opened up to the side, or whether you prefer to also bend the bottom leg and maybe go past that knee. So whatever it is within reach for you, that's where you go. And when you hit your first edge of the stretch, that's where you stay. And then you just breathe, and you breathe as deep as you can. Inhale, sit a little taller. Exhale, twist. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. And just feel really deep into your body. What is going on? So not just the spot where you primarily feel the stretch, but also what other sensations can you detect in your body? And how deep can you breathe? Last breath here. Exhale, come back to center. We'll do a second round of boat pose. So lean back again. Fingertips can be behind you, and then float your legs up. If with fingertips on the floor it's too easy, just take them away. And then continue with every exhale to pull your navel back towards your spine. And with every inhale, reach your heart a little taller. Good. Give it 2 more deep breaths here. Exhale, navel to spine. Last inhale. Exhale, navel to spine. Good. Very well done. Now, cross your feet and come back up onto your knees. And this time we're going to stand up, and then we're going to place our hands with the fingers facing down, and we're going to come into a slight back bend. So that means we're going to press our hips forward, and then we're going to open our heart. So don't think about back, just think about opening the front. Hips forward, heart up. Hips forward, heart up. Inhale, hips forward. Exhale, open your heart. Pull your elbows together. Inhale, press your hips forward. Exhale, pull your elbows together. Inhale, press the hips forward. Exhale, pull elbows together. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Your next inhale, press into your buttocks really, really hard, and then come back up. And then sit down, put your fingertips on the floor, and then just round your back as a counter pose here. Good. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Good. Very nice. And then with your next inhale, we're going to come back on those knees and we're going to walk the hands out further. We're going to come into melting heart pose. So depending on how your body feels like today, you may just be hanging here. If it becomes super intense, you can always take a pillow or something to put underneath your chest. If you can go a little deeper, maybe you can lay your head down. If you're not quite there, you can bend your elbows and then lay your head onto your folded wrists. And then keep breathing deep here. And with every breath, check where you can still soften your body a bit. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, soften. 2 more breaths here. With your next inhale, gently come out of the pose. Come into a cat in between to even it out. Exhale, pull that spine up, round it really well. Pull your shoulder blades away from each other and away from your ears. And with your next inhale, come to a neutral back position. From here, we're going to do another little twist. So inhale your right arm up. Open up that right shoulder really wide. And then with the exhale, thread that right arm underneath your left arm and come all the way down to the floor. Your right shoulder and your right cheek is on the floor, and your left hand presses into the ground in front of your face. And then if you have a feeling that your hips moved all the way over to the left, gently pull them back towards the right. That way you get a little deeper into your twist. One more deep inhale here. Exhale here. And with your next inhale, press into that left hand really well and reach the right arm back up. Exhale, place the hand back down. Other side, inhale your left arm up. As far as it goes, open that left shoulder wide. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right arm and bring your left shoulder and your left cheek to the mat. Right hand presses into the mat in front of your face and your hips gently pull back over to the left. And then see how much gentleness can you bring to this pose. It may feel a little awkward. Just be okay with being awkward for a moment. Yoga is all about getting just a little more comfortable in our discomfort. Take 2 more breaths here. Last inhale here. And with your next inhale, press into that right hand. Lift your left arm back up. Reach the left hand up. Exhale, bring your hand back down onto the mat. Well done. And then from here, we're going to tuck our toes and we're going to lift our hips up and back into downward facing dog. So your hips are your highest point. You're like a triangle, but upside down. Well, I guess that's a normal triangle. You're like a V upside down. That's what I wanted to say. So your fingers are spread really wide. Press all the knuckles of your hands into the mat. Your hips lift high, and then your heels sink towards the ground. They may or may not reach, doesn't matter. But you're definitely going to feel a stretch in the backside of your legs, and that's what it's about. And then pull your shoulders away from your ears and try to get your shoulder blades wide so that they're pulling away from each other. Take 2 more breaths here. Good, very nice. From here, bend your knees, look forward, bend your knees a lot so you can look forward, and then walk your feet forward until you hang out in a forward fold. Now that forward fold can take very different shapes. You might be somewhere up here where your hands are just about your knees. You might be anywhere in between there and hands all the way on the floor. If your back is giving you trouble, make sure you bend your knees. That way you can take some tension out of there. And if your hamstrings are really tight, you can take your knees and your feet a little wider. If it's okay for you, you can grab opposite elbows. So whichever version is doable for hanging out for a couple of breaths, that's where you go right now. Two more breaths here. Good. Inhale, bring your hands onto your shins or knees, reach your heart forward, and then exhale, stand up all the way. You're gonna lose my head for a second. Don't matter, we come right back down. Inhale, your arms up. And then exhale, fold back down, fold forward. Bring your hands on your shins, reach your heart forward, and then exhale, fold down. Take 2 more breaths here and see how this feels after we've gone out of the pose for a moment. Good. Now we are at playtime. We have arrived at playtime. I promised you that we're not going to do funky stuff where you fall all over the place, but I'm certainly going to invite you to play a little. So bend your knees, and then maybe you remember when we were kids, we would try to get our knees onto our arms and then just lift off somehow. Now there's a couple of different versions of how you can try that. You can just grab your knees from, grab your arms from the outside with your knees, and then just see what that feels like. If you lean a little bit of weight into your hands, it's kind of fun. Reach your heart forward a lot, and then swing back on your knees, swing back on your feet. So just a little play with gravity here. That's all we're doing. If you have a regular yoga practice and you want to go deeper, then feel free to come into crow pose. So try again, grab your arms with your knees and then just lean forward. If you want to play a little more, try to get those knees up higher and lean forward a little more. And maybe 1 or 2 feet come off the ground or not, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're very present with how you're breathing. And then exhale. Nice. I really wanted to try that with you. Thanks for humoring me. And then we're gonna come to sit on our bottoms and we're gonna roll all the way down. So vertebrae by vertebrae, come down onto the mat and then take your right knee up into your chest. Now, depending on how your back feels today, this may be the perfect position for you to stay. If you want to go a little deeper, you can straighten out that bottom leg. That will intensify the stretch. And then keep breathing here. And with your next inhale, slowly work on straightening that right leg to whatever extent is possible. Maybe there's a big bend in the knee. That is perfectly fine. Maybe your leg is shaking. That's fine too. So wherever you are, that's all good. You just hang in there, keep breathing deep. Two more breaths here. exhale, bring that knee back down into the chest. And then take that right knee and bring it over to your left side if that is available to you. That knee may well be quite a bit off the floor, and that's okay because you want to keep your shoulders on the floor and just see how far over you can come. And it's going to give you a nice twist in your lower back. Just be gentle with yourself here. Not too much pulling. It's just holding that knee in place with your other hand. And your gaze can go over the other shoulder if you want to twist a little deeper. One more deep breath here. Exhale, bring that knee back to center. And then we're going to bring up the other knee. Make a couple of tiny circles with your knees. That way you're giving yourself a little back massage. And then we'll switch sides. So if on the first side you had the leg with the sole of the foot on the ground, then you may want to choose that same version here and pull that left knee into your chest. And if on the first side you want it more and it was good to straighten out that bottom leg, then go ahead and straighten your right leg now as well. Deep inhale here. Press that heel away from you. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. With your next inhale, straighten that left leg as far as available to you today and hold it wherever you can hold it. If it gets wobbly, if it gets shaky, that is a perfectly fine part of the process. And pull your toes back towards your nose to keep that leg really active. And then notice where your mind goes, because as soon as we lay down on the floor, sometimes our mind starts wandering off in a different way. So just gently pull your attention back to your breath. Last inhale here. Exhale, pull the knee back into your chest. And then take your right hand to grab the left knee and gently bring it over to your right side. Shoulders both stay on the floor. And if your neck is okay with it, lift your gaze over your left shoulder. Take 2 more deep breaths here. See where you can still soften in your exhale. With your next inhale, pull your knee back into your chest. And with the exhale, pull the second knee back into your chest. And we're gonna come to one of my favorite poses. It's called Happy Baby Pose. And this is how it works. You're gonna lift the soles of your feet. You're gonna take your knees a little wider than your chest. And then you see if you can grab anything up here. Maybe you grab your shins. Maybe you grab your ankles. Maybe you can grab your big toes or the inside or outside of your feet. So wherever you can hold on to is great. And then you very gently pull your knees down towards the floor, while at the same time you also pull your tailbone down towards the floor. So no rolling up here. You want to make sure that your tailbone stays very close to the ground. And then the most important part about Happy Baby is that you pull the corners of your mouth back towards your ears. Yeah. And if you want, you can also get a case of the wiggles. It's very important to get your wiggles out. So feel free to slightly move left and right, pull on one foot, then pull on the other foot, if that feels good for your lower back. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Take 2 more breaths here. Good. With your next inhale, bring your feet back together and place the soles of your feet right behind your bottoms. And then we're going to press the heels into the mat and lift up the hips. We're going to come into bridge pose. So hands press into the floor, hips go high. Deep inhale here. With every inhale, push those hips a little bit higher. That may not be visible from the outside, but you'll feel it from the inside. One more deep breath. Exhale, slowly roll back down. Good. And then bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall towards the outside. If you want to open up the front of your body a little more, reach your arms overhead, and either you interlace fingers and just pull the arms really long, or you can grab opposite elbows, whichever version feels better for you right now in your body. I'm going to take 5 more deep breaths here. And with every exhale, see if you can still soften a little. Last inhale. And then with your exhale, let go of your hands and your legs. Just place them down on the mat, arms by your sides, palms facing upward, feet slightly apart. And then maybe you want to lift your shoulder blades up and lay them flat against the mat if it feels like they're sticking into the ground. Maybe you want to lift your hips and point your tailbone down towards your heels so that your lower back has a lot of room. We'll stay here for just a few breaths. This is corpse pose, and it's a good reminder of, well, how short life can be, and that we better make the best of the time that we have given on this beautiful earth. And physically, it's important for integrating your practice, for letting your memories soak up what your body just learned and practiced. So just let your breath wash over you for a couple more breaths. Relax your tongue to the bottom of your mouth. And let go of everything. And then let go of everything again. You might feel that there was still something that was tense. You found something to let go of again. Good work. And then with your next inhale, come back and roll onto your side in fetal position. Stay here for just one breath and feel how you're supported and nurtured by the earth that you're resting on. With your next inhale, come back up to seated. Cross-legged if that's comfortable to you. And just notice for a moment if there is anything that shifted in your practice. How do you feel compared to when we started? And if that's good, if that's a good shift, that's why we choose to come back to this practice. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through this, and have a lovely rest of your day.